Welcome back to another horror movie review. Today, I'm going to review start one of my favourite franchises. It has many films, sequels, and that is the 1978 John Carpenter's Halloween. Probably one of the reasons I actually got into horror movies. So, it's a little history about that. It's the Blu-ray version, obviously. Fortunately, it hasn't got the TV version, so it's just like the standard version. Because I used to have because it's to fill in gaps at the time when it was aired. I think Halloween 2 came out, so they filled in extra bits. So I will need to get that version. I don't know if they have it on Blu-ray. I think it's. I'm not sure if it's on Screen Factory Blu-ray, but still, nice little thing. Yeah, there's your mic on the inside the Blu-ray, which is pretty cool. Yeah, this is just absolutely one of my favourite horror movies of all time. I think it's all going into the slasher genre of horror movies. It's, to me, it's always gonna hold a torch up there against a lot of other horror movies. I think the fact of it is, it's like a thing that can actually happen in real life, and I think that's what gives it a good scare factor to it. Because any sort of psychopath could go around on a holiday like that, mask, carrying a knife, and it's a terrifying thought, but that could actually happen. So, the idea to it is just really great, and obviously over the years, a lot of other horror movies have followed that sort of path, but in my opinion, not successful. Because you had stuff like that, like Black Xmas, was kind of like the sort of the pre-course. So the pre-course to the things that were going to come later on, and it just has some of my favourite actors in it, like Donald Pleasence or Jamie Lee Curtis. It's just it's such a good movie. I remember the first time I watched it, and the soundtrack to it, the ominous noises. I still remember, I didn't jump so much at horror films now because I love my horror movies, but I always remember the first time I watched it, it would make me jump. The bit where Loomis and Sheriff Brackett, I believe, are in a house, in Michael's old house, and the sort of thing smashes on the window, and it's like a loud smash, and that made me jump. And the bit where he jumps in the car at the beginning, where he's escaping from the asylum, it's just. I think if you never watched horror and it's the first time getting into that kind of thing, it's always going to give you that really good scare factor. So that's something you can always enjoy. Everyone's entitled to one good scare. No pun intended. So all in all, it's just it will always hold a mantle for me. It is one of my favourite horror franchises. Obviously in this one you had Nick Castle as the Shape, which he also returned in the 2018 Halloween. But I will get to that when I review that movie. When I actually own that movie. It's the only one I do not own. So I'm pretty annoyed about that at the moment. And it's just I would love to watch this on the big screen. Really, I really would I want to go to a sort of adventure of it to be put in the cinema about that. I've always wanted to do that. Always one of those movies I wanted to see. And it's such a great movie. The acting in it is good for the time it was around, and the setting, the scenery. How the tale sort of slowly builds up. I think the fact is, well, the first one worked so well. It was just literally the stalkiness of the Shape / Michael Myers. It was just you didn't know exactly where it was. You'd be around the corner at a house, coming into the darkness somewhere. It was a really mysterious, shadowy figure, and I think that's what would set people a lot on the edge when they do things like that. yeah, you know, it's just. I mean, I've seen other copycat films do that, and it just doesn't work in my opinion. It's just Halloween will always hold that. I mean, it's always like there's good memories watching this movie. I've watched this movie like I don't know 12 times in my life, and watching various clips. Obviously, like if I'm showing someone it. I mean, like, and talking about future releases, though some people may crucify me, but I really do like the Rob Zombie ones. One because it does reference the original movie in a lot of ways, especially a bit with Bob, with the ghost, where he comes back up and you've got the ghost. See, I like that you took notice of these kind of things, and they had similar sort of things where, like, you know, she'd be strangled. She'd be strangled by Michael, and when she's just like, "Oh, where's my beer?" Well, obviously, in the Rob Zombie one's a bit more nudity, but you don't actually really nudity. It's nice, but I like how things were kept the same. Moving back to the original 1978 Halloween, there's one like I think what I loved about Jamie Lee Curtis's character the most is it was like an innocent girl, you know. She was just it looked like she was well kept to herself, and then this sort of night of massacre happens, and she's sort of thrown into this like fight or flight really against this sort of like unknown sort of masked person. Who is this person? And it's just like she's like terrified and screaming, running straight in because it's Halloween. People think she's playing a joke, and it's just it's so good. It's so good. It's also like the ending was just like where he just wouldn't like stay down. He just like gets him getting back up. It was just so brilliant. It was really brilliant, and like when he shoots him off the balcony at the end, and it just he goes, "Was it the boogeyman? What's the boogeyman?" And he goes, "Where's the fact it was?" And you sort of look, and he's not there, and it's sort of you hear that breathing in the credits. And when I first heard that at the end, the Halloween theme playing, I was just like, oh, the thing was, I was just like, because obviously when I discovered these movies, like, I wanted to watch the rest, and I was told there was like 8, or there would have been 9 movies at the time when I got around to watching these. So I became like obsessed with these movies. It's just so brilliant. And I went on to watching the next one, which obviously took place more than night he came home, but I will get into that in another video. As always, thank you for watching my videos. It means a lot if you could leave a like and a sub. And take care.